The Essence Festival is changing and not for the better. Picture it, New Orleans. The summer heat presses against thousands gathered in one of the blackest cities in America. Once, this was the home of legends like Frankie Beverly, whose final curtain calls filled the Superdome with memories that would last a lifetime. Once, the air carried the energy of a community celebrating its own, its music, its vendors, its legacy. That was the Essence Festival as it was originally imagined, rooted in the African-American experience and owned by the very community that built it. But something changed. What started as a space created specifically for Black Americans to gather, celebrate, and build wealth has slowly morphed into something unrecognizable. The ownership shifted, the booking strategies shifted, and now the festival's cultural foundation feels like it's being chipped away in the name of global blackness. The original mission, a celebration of Black American culture. Launched in 1995 to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Essence magazine, the Essence Festival became the largest cultural event of its kind in the United States. It brought together Black American families, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and thought leaders from across the country. Over the years, global icons like Janet Jackson and Beyoncé have graced the Essence stage, bringing with them record-breaking crowds. Frankie Beverly closed out the festival year after year, turning the Superdome into a living, breathing anthem of Black American joy. It also became a love letter to the city of New Orleans, a city whose people, culture, and history represent some of the most vibrant examples of Black American resilience. From the food to the music to the soul of its residents, New Orleans has always been an inseparable part of Essence's identity. But somewhere along the way, the festival's mission began to shift. The cracks in ownership. The Shea Moisture era. The first cracks appeared when Essence Communications, the parent company of the magazine and the festival, was sold to Time Inc. in 2005, a corporate acquisition that raised immediate concerns about the future of Black ownership. While many celebrated when Essence returned to Black ownership in 2018 under Richelieu Dennis, the founder of Shea Moisture, the deeper changes were just beginning. Though ownership had returned to Black hands, the direction of the festival began to feel less rooted in the specific experiences of Black Americans. Corporate partnerships expanded. The language began to shift toward global Blackness, and soon after, new leadership took the reins. New leadership, new agenda. In 2020, Caroline Wanga, a Kenyan-born corporate executive, was appointed president and CEO of Essence Ventures. Wanga's story was framed as inspiring. Born in Kisumu, Kenya, she moved to the United States in 1988. Despite becoming a young single mother and dropping out of college, she climbed the corporate ladder, later completing her degree and earning 10 promotions in just 13 years. Her leadership brought with it a bold vision to expand Essence's reach, not just in the U.S., but globally, repositioning it as a platform for the entire Black diaspora. While this ambition sounded progressive, it raised uncomfortable questions. Why rebrand a festival that had already built a loyal, billion-dollar audience rooted in Black American culture? Was this change driven by community demand or corporate ambition? Ethnic erasure, masquerading as diversity. Here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. The word diversity is often used as a badge of honor, but at Essence, it's starting to feel like a cover for something else. Booking Afrobeat or Caribbean performers isn't the problem. Black American audiences have always celebrated great music from across the diaspora. The issue is the growing replacement of culturally rooted Black American artists with acts that feel disconnected from the lived experiences of the festival's original audience. Take Cynthia Erivo, for example, a Black British actress of Nigerian descent, cast as Harriet Tubman in a major biopic. Despite her talent, Erivo's past social media remarks mocking African-American vernacular and culture sparked outrage. Yet she was still honored by Black American institutions, featured on major stages like the NAACP Image Awards, and praised by influential figures like Oprah Winfrey. She was even awarded honorary membership in an African-American sorority. But no public apology or accountability ever followed, raising questions about why certain international voices are elevated while the very community that built Essence is increasingly sidelined. Vendors sound the alarm. Essence Festival has always been more than a concert series. It has long served as a cultural and economic lifeline for a community historically locked out of wealth and ownership, from chattel slavery to Jim Crow and every modern form of exclusion in between. It has been a way to generate income and community for a people who have endured centuries of systemic denial. What's happening now feels like history repeating itself. Longtime vendors, many of whom built their entire business models around the life-changing revenue generated during Essence Weekend, are now sounding the alarm. These small business owners once thrived in highly visible, high-traffic areas of the festival, where thousands of attendees passed by their booths, shopped their products, and supported their brands. But recent changes to the festival's vendor marketplace have made those opportunities harder to access than ever before. Reports from legacy vendors describe skyrocketing fees that push small, black-owned businesses out of prime locations. Many have been forced into poorly placed sections of the venue, tucked away from main foot traffic, hidden behind corporate sponsor activations, or placed in hard-to-find corners that drastically reduce visibility. While larger brands and corporate sponsors enjoy premium placement near entrances, stages, and high-traffic lounges, many Black American vendors, who helped make Essence's economic ecosystem thrive, are now left fighting for scraps in areas attendees struggle to locate. The impact on sales has been devastating. Vendors who once reported 5- and 6-figure weekends now describe barely breaking even. What used to be a weekend of prosperity has, for many, become a financial risk. These placement decisions do more than affect profits. They send a clear message about whose interests are being prioritized. The marketplace, once designed to center and elevate Black American entrepreneurs, now feels like it's catering more to outside corporations and big-budget sponsors than the small business owners who helped build the festival's reputation. A broader pattern of exploitation. Essence is not alone. Platforms like The Shade Room, founded by a Nigerian entrepreneur, and World Star Hip Hop, founded by a Haitian American, have built massive empires profiting off African American culture, often by spotlighting its most negative portrayals. Non-African American creators like YouTuber Expressive TV have monetized Black American experiences while rarely reflecting on their own cultural accountability. This exploitation isn't just digital, it's happening in real-life spaces that were built by and for Black Americans. What's next for Essence? There is beauty in connecting across the global Black diaspora. There is power in building cultural bridges. But those bridges must never come at the expense of erasing the community that made Essence Festival possible in the first place. Essence's future hangs in the balance. Will it continue down this path of cultural dilution, or will it return to its roots, centering the voices, the vendors, and the community that built it? Time will tell. This report is not intended to tell anyone not to attend or support the Essence Festival. New Orleans deserves to be celebrated. Black joy deserves to be amplified. This is simply an effort to shed light on valid concerns that deserve to be heard, respected, and addressed if Essence is to continue thriving for generations to come. Scope News speaks the truth. And here's where the facts were gathered. Reporting from Samrack.com highlighted Caroline Wanga's rise from her Kenyan roots to the leadership of Essence Ventures. Page 6 and New Pittsburgh Courier revealed insider reports on Essence's shifting leadership and corporate agenda. Cynthia Erivo's controversial remarks and rise to prominence were reported by The Root, Essence Magazine, and other major outlets. Reports on platforms like The Shade Room, World Star Hip Hop, and Expressive TV have been covered by Forbes, Business Insider, and The Guardian, all exposing the monetization of African American culture without accountability. Legal disclaimer. The information presented in this report is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are based on publicly available information, media reports, and cultural analysis. This content is not intended to harm, defame, or misrepresent any individuals, organizations, or communities mentioned. Viewer discretion is advised as the content may address sensitive cultural and economic issues. Scope News encourages independent research and critical thinking. All claims are made in good faith based on sources believed to be reliable at the time of publication. This report is not sponsored, endorsed, or affiliated with any individuals, organizations, or brands referenced.